Hi guys, this is Adam Zapier. Welcome to ManWise. This is video number 2 of the self-reflection video I started making earlier this week. Hopefully you've already watched the first one. If not, click in the link in the description and it will take you to that video. And hopefully you'll enjoy this one even more, because this time I'm going to get involved, do the experiment that I talked about, which I kind of stumbled across. What I'm going to do is film myself staring in a mirror. Sounds pretty boring. If you haven't watched the first video, it's not going to make a lot of sense. I'll give you a bit of a brief overview. Basically, when you stare into your own eyes in the mirror, it gives some kind of feeling that I really struggle to explain it other than that I was separate from my body. It was almost like my mirror image was looking back at me in a different way than that probably sounds. So, with that said, I'm not going to waste too much time. All I'm going to say is I suspect that I'm going to feel kind of scared, although I've been looking into a lot of psychological stuff and also some quantum mechanics over the last couple of days. So that's kind of settled my nerves, taken my mind off the supernatural, if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, I kind of have some kind of interest in it, but at the same time I think it relates anyway to the way our brain works and what we're able to perceive. So I guess we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out and I'll get back to you in the mirror.
Okay, so just turning the cameras on. Obviously we've got one on and it's already recording, second one's on now. Give you a couple of different views. Basically just clapping to sync the video together. Nothing to worry about there. Now I'm going to play some of this stuff at a higher speed. This is actually 8 times the standard speed, just because there's 30 minutes of footage and otherwise it's going to get very boring watching me stand in front of a mirror for half an hour. So I'm basically just standing there, staring into my own eyes, and I'm feeling quite nervous. I'm not really sure what I'm going to see. I know the last time I did this, it wasn't in such specific lighting situation or whatever. I just stood there and happened to look into my eyes and kept staring, and I freaked myself out. And as I mentioned in the previous video, part 1, I did a bit of looking into things, and that led me to setting up this situation. And it looks much brighter in this room than what it actually was. I've got the exposure set so it's going to appear as daylight, even though it was quite dull. It was just one lamp behind me, low powered globe in there. And yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to focus. My breathing's a little bit obvious, I guess. You can see my chest moving in and out. It looks like I'm breathing really heavily, but it's just the high speed parts of the footage where it looks exaggerated. When it goes back to standard speed, you'll see it's pretty much normal. So as I'm going, you probably notice at a few points through this, if you look really carefully, you'll see, because I'm not blinking too much, I'm trying to focus so hard under such low light, I get tears run down my face. And yeah, it can be quite painful actually, staring at yourself. And I think because I had expectations about what might happen, it stopped me from focusing. You may have noticed there too, I just kind of suddenly looked away. There was this weird noise when I played back the recording at high speed. Just a moment before I had that reaction where I kind of freaked and then turned to look to see what was going on. I don't know what the noise was. It could have been a noise from my camera, maybe a noise from the drain. Now you'll see here, I'm really, really focused. You might see my expression change shortly. I think it does it around here. It's just this slight smirk. And you can see I kind of look a bit worried. A bit nervous. And then I refocus and back to that bit of a smirk, slightly. Now, you may be wondering what I'm seeing at this point, and it's really hard to describe, but my face almost turned like a light grey with darker grey freckles that kind of all melded together and then darkened into almost a blackness. And I can't really describe it well, but it almost looked like my face was made up of this black threads, I guess. And my eyes pretty much disappeared as we know them and just were like little white balls of light. And around the edge, my face seemed to have widened in appearance. And I'm pretty certain from what I felt and the things I'd read in between my previous experience and actually standing in front of the mirror doing this now, I realised that it really is an optical illusion, because you see it fade in and fade out, and it's to do with your focus, and it's still pretty scary. I mean, you can kind of tell that I'm feeling a bit strange about it. I just keep staring. I mean, we're probably a good halfway through this thing now. Maybe more. And it's just a really weird experience. What I might do at the end of this video, don't hold me to it, because it really depends whether I can get it to work. But I'm going to take the final frame and Photoshop an image of what I saw. There's actually a strange noise, and I may even replay that at the end of the video. And I'll see if I can enhance the noise. So, yeah, I mean, I just pretty much keep staring. It's almost over. Because after 30 minutes, the cameras I was using just turned themselves off. So, I've only got 30 minutes footage, and that's when I decided to stop.